Okay, so the topic of this half of the our presentations will be logging in Longinus from Kubernetes. You probably every one of you knows what Longinus is, but I will of course say it again. The Longinus is our own in-house made logging and metrics platform. It is with us for a huge number of years right now and is very mature. This is the place where we gather all the logs from every or almost every application that is run within the media press. So this is the fantastic place for us to be informed about the problems the applications have, about the exceptions, errors, or any other situations that can occur in a daily production. Longinus is also the metrics platform, which means that your applications can increment some counters in it to provide the platform with information about the performance, about the number of requests. All these metrics are then can be used to create the dashboard in Kibana and well visualize the application not only from the log perspective but also from the performance perspective or throughput perspective, or well any other way which is expressed in counters. The Longinus is based technologically on an Elasticsearch platform, Elasticsearch NoSQL database. Elasticsearch has its own set of tools to organize logging, but we decided not to use it. We went our own way, so we are not using Logstash or other bits that the Elasticsearch is providing. We are using it ourselves. Normally, if you want to log something into Longinus for .NET application or any other kind of application, you are supposed to use the library that connects to the Longinus service and well logs something or writes down the change to the counter or to the metric. But sometimes, especially in an environment like Kubernetes, when you are writing a very small tool or set of tools which are well command line based, which really do not have a lot of connections in a system and really do not need to be integrated with the with our Aloha authentication schemes. Because of course to log something into Longinus you have to authenticate. It would be very helpful to be able just well log something using standard logging mechanism in a given platform, like well logging library within Python, and have these logs written down on a console, somehow transferred to the Longinus for searching and for using the nice features that Longinus provides, like for example mail alerts in case of error. So to make it easier to log from small applications running on a Kubernetes platform, we figured out that it can be done like this. So let's imagine there's a Kubernetes cluster, like our clusters. It contains the number of nodes, and of course on each node the number of pods are running with our applications. So instead of using a Longinus client, these applications can just log, well, in their normal platform-related way. And the nice feature provided by the Docker environment is that all these logs from applications get redirected by the Docker to some standard location on a node. I will switch to presentation to show you what I'm talking about right now. Well, for example, This is one of the tools that we have in our huge number of importers data for French cinemas, and this one logs something on a console, logs something using standard logging mechanism, and these logs are gathered by the Kubernetes and Docker and are available to be shown using the tools well, in this case, the Lens tool. So let's be back to the presentation. Yeah. There's available Kubernetes daemon called Fluentd. This is very often used also. This is a very often used solution to gather logs from the nodes in Kubernetes clusters. So we have installed this Fluent daemon. It is installed automatically on each node, and this Fluent daemon can be configured to get the logs from this Docker local storage for a node and send it somewhere. In our case, we have selected to send them to the Elasticsearch index because we have Elasticsearch servers running. So Fluentd generally just transfers these logs to our Elasticsearch, and we also modified our Longinus platform to be able to ingest the data from this Elasticsearch. So this index is a kind of a buffer between anything that is logged by Kubernetes and the Longinus. So after a while, everything that has been logged within the Kubernetes without using Longinus client is available in the Longinus for searching. Okay, we'll jump back to the presentation. Yeah, and you can see that this cinema import logged a lot of information, and we can see switching to the Longinus. Yeah, that this logs from cinema import Megarama has been transported to the Longinus automatically. Yeah, of course, but of course, this logging to the console is very simple, and it usually doesn't include good information, for example, about the level of log. So it's always logged as an info. Or if it is logged as an error, there's no way to read this this field from this unstructured format of logs that usually is created. But it can be seen at the bottom here. You can also switch the standard logger to the JSON logging mechanism, and then everything here, which is normally just placed in an unformatted way, is formatted as a JSON record in this log. And Fluentd interprets these JSONs and just breaks it down into separate fields. So in this case, when the logging is set to the JSON logging, we are able in Longinus to ingest also the information about, for example, the level of logging, because this level here is now the separate value in the JSON record. Of course, as I mentioned, this is a very simple way of logging things in Longinus. It doesn't involve all this fancy stuff that we have in it. So you are not able to add some context, request IDs, keywords, and you are not able to set the counters this way. But for a simpler application, I think it's quite sufficient. Interesting thing is that